Do you believe that Jesus is the Son of God? Do you believe that he is the Messiah? If you're a Christian, you've already said yes. But how do you prove he's the Messiah? If he isn't the Messiah, everything we believe in is false. Can you prove him? I can. I can prove that he is the Messiah by looking at Old Testament prophecies about Christ. Now, before we look at the prophecies, we must understand what is a prophecy. A prophecy must be detailed. You can't have some random guy say, next year it's going to rain. It's not detailed. You don't know where, you don't know how. In a prophecy, there has to be a gap between the prophecy and the fulfillment. In the Old Testament, most prophecies were made then. In the New Testament, that's when most of them were fulfilled. In between the two testaments, there's hundreds of years. That's a big enough gap for a prophecy. A prophecy must be understandable. You can't say next year, if you don't have a prophecy that's understandable, how do you know it's fulfilled? Prophecies can't have historical overtones. You can't say, well, here's a gap. 300 years from now, in Hawaii, that volcano's going to explode. It's detailed, there's a gap, it's understandable, but how many times does volcanoes explode in Hawaii? A lot. That's a historical overtone. Now knowing what a prophecy is, we must look at a series of prophecies about Jesus' portrayal. The first prophecy is in Psalms 41:9. It says, "Even my own familiar friend, in whom I trusted, who ate my bread, has lifted up his heel against me." This is prophesying about Jesus about to betray Jesus, and it is completed in Matthew 10:4. It's understandable, there's a gap, it's detailed, and there's no historical overtones about that, so therefore it is a prophecy. The next one is in Zechariah 11:12. And it says, "Then I said to them, if it is agreeable to you, give me my wages, and if not, refrain so. They weighed out for me my wages, 30 pieces of silver." If the prophets or the priests have given Judas one more piece of silver or one less, Jesus would not have been the Messiah, because it clearly states 30 pieces of silver. That's how amazing these prophecies are and how detailed they are. And that is completed in Matthew 26:15. And just after, in verse 13, it says, throw it into the potter, the princely price they set on me. So I took 30 pieces of silver and threw it into the house of the Lord for the potter. After Judas had felt bad, he returned the money to the priests. And then they thought there was too much blood on the money, so they bought a field to bury random strangers in. And that is completed in Matthew 27:7. All these prophecies have been fulfilled. Do you know anyone in history besides Jesus who has ever completed a prophecy? No one. No one. The next series, the last series of prophecies is about Jesus' crucifixion. In Isaiah 53:7-9, let's go ahead and turn through there. Let's just read 9. "And they made his grave with the wicked, but with the rich at his death, because he had done no violence, nor was any deceit in his mouth." This is prophesying about Jesus, how he had to die for us, and crucified with thieves. It's completed in Matthew 27:32. The next prophecy is in Psalms 22:7-8. "All those who see me ridicule me. They shoot out the lip, they shake their heads, saying, 'He trusted in the Lord, let him rescue him. Let him deliver him, since he delights in him.' He is being insulted and mocked, as completed in Matthew 27:39. All these prophecies are being fulfilled. The next one I'm talking about is in Psalms 34:20. "He guards all his bones, not one of them is broken." It's prophesying, in Romans perfected crucifixion. And when you're on the cross, you have to breathe. So you use your legs to push up so you get a breath. But instead, for thieves, they would break their legs so they die quicker. They didn't do that with Jesus. They made him suffer as long as they can, for hours and hours on that cross. And if they had broken his bones, he would not have been the Messiah. It clear states again, he guards all his bones, not one of them is broken. That is another. He had no control whether they broke his bones or not. He had no control if they shook their heads or not in Psalms 109:25, which is completed in Matthew 27:39. Jesus fulfilled all of 332 prophecies. The probability of one man fulfilling 8 prophecies is 100 quadrillion to 1. That's 17 zeros. The odds of being struck by lightning is 700,000 to 1. Again, the probability of fulfilling 8 is 100 quadrillion to 1. Jesus is the Messiah, and are you ready for his coming?